going to hit record. And we're waiting for all of the streams to start. Okay, we're up on Facebook. Say hello to Facebook. We're up on LinkedIn and we're okay. Here we go. Time to start. Here we go. Dance with me, Ron. Oh, look at those shoulders.
I know.
Oh,
Shoulder.
oh, shoulder power.
Shoulder shuffle.
I'll match you. Happy birthday. Somebody's day. Celebrating you. So special. Shine. Smile. Oh, such style. Glam bam and more. Ba, ba, da, 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 ba. Okay, let's say thank you to the Suno Orchestra. Thank you so much. I'm Bonnie D. Happy to be here with one of my good friends, one of my best friends. His name is Ron R. Roel, Roel. You have to say it right or he won't be happy. Ron, welcome. You've done the show with me before. We've got a new banner with your name on it. And what I'd love to do is have you introduce yourself briefly before we get started. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I'm a writer, a former journalist, author, now podcaster, presenter. I focus on what I call successful aging, really helping people um, age well, really focusing on midlife and beyond, because we pretty much have a script before then, but then after then, it's like, well, now what? So I try to, cover a whole variety of topics in what I call sort of an integrated way. Some people work on retirement, some people work on health and wellness. I try to look at 6 or 7 areas and integrate them into a holistic approach that you can customize to age successfully and well, sort of, with health,
Mm-hmm.
wealth, and with dignity and security. So that's what I do.
And what's the name of your podcast?
It's called 45 Forward
And
because I
why did you
want
pick
people,
45 rather than 55 or 65, Ron?
well, I wanted people to think about this second half of life before they hit that magic 50-yard line. So that's the first reason. And then the other reason, keeping with that sports analogy, is that um, I found out that if you want to throw a football the farthest distance, what's the angle you want to throw it at? 45 degrees. So think
I didn't
about
know
that.
that.
You want to get the farthest distance, start at 45.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
charming. So let me introduce the show. Thank you and welcome back. And here we go. It's time to cheer, to toast, to woo. It's happy birthday to you and you and you. With Bonnie D on her scarlet mic, I hope you can see the red there, serving up fame and flair with just the right spike. There's a sports reference, a spike, football spike. Okay,
There
I
you
didn't
go.
think about that. It's in your
Yeah.
honor. Celebrities and stars from screen to stream. That's a tongue twister. And social media darlings. Living the dream. They're so young they didn't know it was their dream, but it's their dream now. Plus, maybe I'm dreaming about it. But odd plus oddball holidays and music history lore. Let's light the candles in the other room. I told you, Ron. And happy wishes galore. Joining me now with his co-hosting flair is Ron R. with charm and wit to spare. So here we go, Ron. I've added a new feature, and it's not on your list, but I'm going to do it.
Oh,
The number one songs on the Billboard Hot 100 today, December 8th, going back by decade from 1955. Are you ready? You
wow.
may you
Okay.
may know some of these. Okay, 1955, 16 Tons by Tennessee Ernie Ford. Remember
Yep.
that?
Yep, I do.
16 tons and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Okay, and 19, I didn't want to ruin that too much. 1965, Turn, Turn, Turn to Everything There Is a Season by the Byrds,
Yeah,
spelled
sure.
Byrds. In 1975, oh, one of my favorites, That's the Way, I Like It. Casey and the Sunshine Band, I was a disco
Yeah.
girl, and Island Girl by Elton John was hovering around number one at
Wow.
that time.
Okay.
1985, Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. And in the UK, believe it or not, Whitney Houston's Saving All My Love for You
Yeah.
was the
Okay.
number one in the UK. 1995, One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boys to Men. Okay.
Okay.
2005, Run It by Chris Brown featuring Jules Santana. I don't know that one. 2015, a very emotional song, Hello by Adele. Oh, I hear that,
Oh,
I
yeah.
cry. And
Right.
this year, 2025, they haven't quite come out with it yet, but as of right around yesterday, The Fate of Ophelia by Taylor Swift and a classic, a perennial, you'll know this one, by Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas
And
is
is
you. There
you.
you go. Those are the top from 55 to 2025, no age included. Okay, let's get started with events in music history, the real segment I wanted to do.
Mm.
1956, Guy Mitchell's Da 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 da, singing the blues, hit number one. You've got the next one, man.
Next one, 1960. Henry Mancini records Moon River.
Moon
Moon
River.
River.
You want to sing
By
it?
no, I don't. I
It
just
was
that's all I know.
we had the piano music. We had a baby grand piano, and I took lessons, and my sister did. And Moon River was one of the few songs she actually learned to
Yeah,
play. My
yeah.
late sister. Okay, 1962. Legend. Oh, you know this. Legendary DJ and promoter Alan Freed, spelled Freed, appeared at his payola trial in New York City, and he testified to receiving money. From record labels. They wanted him to play their records on the air, so they
Oh
said,
yeah.
"Okay, Alan, here's some bucks. Go play such and such a record." He's found guilty. He's fined $300. This was
Mm,
1962. That's 65 years ago. What? And he's given 6 months probation, but they say irreparable damage to his career has been done because now
mm,
he's synonymous with Alan Freed and Payola, right? Remember that
right.
scandal?
Yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
go ahead.
yeah. 1963, a year later, Frank Sinatra Jr. is kidnapped in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, and freed 3 days later after his father pays the $240,000 ransom. The three men responsible are eventually caught and incarcerated.
Oh my goodness, great. Do you
Took
remember
50.
that story?
I actually do, yeah. I didn't remember the ransom, but which I guess is what, about 2.5 million today? Um,
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah, but I do remember that story, yeah. I
62
was
years
not
ago.
I was a kid, but I do remember that because he was a
62
kid.
years ago. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's go to 1968. 5 years later, Graham Nash played his last gig with the Hollies. It was a charity concert in London. He moved on, wanted to do more music, but not with them. Crosby, Stills, and Nash were his next place on the charts. And of course, Graham Nash was the Nash. The Hollies replaced him with Terry Sylvester, and they just kept on going and going and going. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Another hit, a long, cool woman in a black dress. So the Hollies were still trucking, and he was going out and making music history with Crosby, Stills, Nash. And
Yeah,
eventually they added Young, remember?
they both cruised on. I love Crosby, Stills and Nash. That album came out when I was in college. It was just like I kept playing it over and over and over, and then Young added a
And then
lot to it.
Young.
Yeah.
You've got the next one.
Next one. Okay, 1971. Reginald Dwight legally changes his name to Elton Hercules John. He had been
Oh,
using the Elton John name since 1968, but had never made it official. The middle name he picked was in honor of the mythological hero. Also, this is good, also the name of a horse on one of his favorite British TV shows, Steptoe and Son. That I did not know.
that's why you're here, so I can tell you all this stuff. And
That's
I
right.
call this raising the conversational bar at social and business gatherings. And people will say, "How did you learn all that stuff, Ron?" And they might use a different word for stuff. We won't say that on the air.
Yeah, but
And you'll say, "I was on Bonnie D's HB2U show, and
yeah.
she filled me up with all this stuff." There we go.
Hmm.
5 years later, 1976, an updated version of the musical drama A Star is Born debuted in movie theaters. What a movie. I cried. Barbara Streisand and Chris
Mm,
Christopherson. There were a couple scenes in there I will never forget. And it featured the Academy Award winning chart topping song,
mm.
Evergreen. Beautiful
Nice,
song. Beautiful song.
nice, nice.
Yes.
Same year, 1976, The Carpenters' very first special featuring guest John Denver airs on ABC. Hmm.
I think the brother Richard is still around. Karen, of course, is long gone, and John
Yeah.
Denver is long gone. So many years ago. 1980, this is a sad, iconic, horrible day in music history. John Lennon, at the age of only
Mm,
40, had done so much with the Beatles and on his own. He shot and killed outside his apartment in New York City, but I didn't realize that this was hours after he was at the New York's Record Plant Studio mixing a song by his wife, Yoko Ono's Walking on Thin Ice. Very
mm,
interesting. And when he came back to the apartment, Annie Leibovitz, the famous fashion and celebrity photographer, was there and did a photo shoot of him. Shoot was a bad word for me to use, of him
no.
and Yoko at their apartment for a feature in Rolling Stone. And that same afternoon, he was shot and killed outside his apartment.
God.
Wow.
I didn't
Okay.
know these other things happened. Yeah,
I didn't
it was
either.
a shock. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Changed the world.
Yep, it did. So, 1984. 1984. Okay. Hall and Oates song "Out of Touch" hits number one, their sixth and final number one in the U.S.
But they had a lot of good songs.
They did.
1998, the FBI. Oh, Frank Sinatra, the chairman of the board. Old Blue Eyes is back. The FBI had a 1,300-page file on Frank Sinatra, and they opened it to the public. I don't know what was in that file, but today it would probably be a 100,000-page file, right?
Right. Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
go there.
Yeah. 2007, thanks to an appearance on Oprah, where she declares it to be one of her favorite things, Josh Groban's Christmas album Noel goes to number one, becomes the top selling album of 2007. The
Wow.
power of Oprah.
Ab Very well put. Absolutely. 6 years later, in 2013, Metallica play Antarctica, that's a place, as part of a promotion sponsored by what else? Coca-Cola Zero. That's a really cool marketing play, isn't
Mm,
it? A
hmm
documentary and audio download of the event are later issued under the title Freeze 'em All. Interesting. Okay.
hmm 2016. At 73, oh my God, Mick Jagger welcomes his eighth child, a son named Devereaux. The mother is Jagger's girlfriend, Melanie Hamrick. Go Mick,
Go,
73.
go,
Really?
Mick. Well, that was only, let's see, 2016, and we're 2025. So that was 9 years ago from right now, correct? So Mick is
Oh,
now, yeah, he's now 82, and he's got a 9 year
son.
old son. There you go. In
Wow.
2017, we'll go to happier time. Well, for somebody else, Johnny Mathis released The Voice of Romance, the Columbia original album collection. I was a big fan. I'll tell you in a second what I did about Johnny Mathis or with Johnny Mathis. The 68 disc box set had 67 remastered albums, including two never released in their entirety. I Love My Lady, 1981 album, written and produced by the founders of the group Chic, Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers, and another one called The Island, a Brazilian flavored album produced by Sergio Mendes in 1989. Okay, I was asked to interview Johnny Mathis when I was a stringer reporter for The Improper magazine on Long Island. Do you remember The Improper, Ron?
Nope.
You don't. Okay. The Improper was an entertainment news magazine. It was a big format print paper.
hmm
And I was a stringer, and they used to give me press pass and tickets to go to Westbury Music Fair. You remember that in theater in the
Oh,
round.
sure, sure.
And
hmm
they said, you're going to interview Johnny Mathis for the back cover story of the magazine that month.
hmm
So I set up with his manager a phone call. And at 9 o'clock one morning, it was 6 o'clock in California, I had a tape deck with two blank tapes ready to go, cassettes
There you go, cassettes.
cassettes. And this was obviously years ago, before a lot of what we're using right now. And a voice on the phone said, "Is this Bonnie? Hello, this is John Mathis." I almost fell off my chair. We talked for so long, I had to load a second cassette tape in. And this was about the time when American Idol was debuting on TV. And I
Oh,
said to him, "Do
wow.
you think an amateur show would be a success?" And he said, "No, I don't think it's going to take off very well."
Wow.
Well, I got tickets to go to his concert, obviously, as part of the deal. And I sat in the 14th row. My standard press seat was the 14th row, and it was theater in the round, so I don't know which section it was. 14th row on the aisle seat, and I had a Kodak DX 6490 digital camera. And
hmm
I didn't use a flash because I didn't want to bother anybody. I was able to take crystal clear pictures from that seat. I took pictures of everybody from Patti LaBelle to Joan Rivers. I was at maybe 20 concerts over the years as a stringer. Stringer meaning I wasn't paid, but I got the perks of going to the concerts and writing. Did my own photography, and I was welcomed backstage after. And during the concert, somebody in the audience yelled out, "Johnny, we love you." And he said, "And I love you back." It
hmm
was it was wonderful. I went backstage, and people had paid extra to meet and greet the star, and
hmm
I waited my turn, and I said hello, and I said, "My boyfriends and I, when I was a teenager, enjoyed Chances Are and your other songs in my parents' basement." And he just laughed, and I don't know whether he gave me a hug or shook my hand, but he greeted me, and I
hmm
said, "I'm the one who interviewed you over the phone." It was a nice meet and greet, and I cried.
Oh, nice.
So there you
Yeah,
go. So that
nice.
was my meeting Johnny. I did a story on Neil Sedaka as well, and
Wow.
all kinds of interesting
Yeah,
people. But
and
those
yeah, and you had a digital camera in those
I
days.
Kodak DX 6490, which
Wow.
I had to have a big purse for it to fit in, and it took I have a picture of Joan Rivers sitting cross-legged on the floor of the stage and of the bottom of her shoes and her outfit. I have a picture of Patti LaBelle in one of her great big fur coats. I have a picture of Neil Sedaka at his purple lavender piano. These were
Mhm.
all taken with my camera and they printed my articles. I think my Johnny Mathis article, I have it here somewhere, was back page. You know how important that is for a reporter? Well, you were a reporter, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
So I worked for the Improper magazine. I don't even know how I got the gig. Somebody told me. But anyway, rescue me. What have you got? One more item here for
One
us.
more,
Go.
2024, almost up to date here. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, which redefines the landscape of live music with 149 concerts on 5 continents, where it wraps up in Vancouver.
Wow. 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 She certainly changed the landscape of so many things. Bravo to
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. I hear her new album is not that well received, but she's 35 now and life has changed. You have to do
Wow.
another podcast. You can get her as your first guest called 35 Forward.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Okay, I'll tell her you said so. Let's do some celebrity birthdays here. I'll start it off. Terry Hatcher is 61. What? She's best known, many of you'll know her as Lois Lane on the TV series Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, 1993 to 97. Was it really that long ago?
Mm.
30 years ago? She also played Paris Carver in the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies in 1990. She was busy that year. Mel Jones in the Beldam in Coraline, and I know her from Susan Mayer on Desperate
Mm.
Housewives, 2004 to
Got it.
2012,
Yeah.
where she won a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy and 3 Screen Actor Guild Awards. Oh my goodness gracious. She appeared in 6 episodes of the TV series MacGyver as talkative but naive Penny Parker, opposite Richard Dean Anderson. That was the original MacGyver. That was
Hmm.
86 to 89. She voiced Dottie in the 2013 film Planes. I guess it was an animation. She
Mm.
made an icon. Oh, I was going to give this one to you because I'm not sure I can say this. She made I missed the N there, an iconic guest appearance on a 1993 episode of Seinfeld in which her character Sidra breaks up with Jerry because he believed Jerry sent his friend Elaine, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, into the sauna to find out if Sidra's, shall we say, her girls were real or enhanced. And Sidra tells Jerry, by the way, they're real and they're spectacular as she leaves
Hmm.
his apartment. In 2011, Men's Health magazine named Terry Hatcher number 38 on their hottest women of all time list. And no surprise, before fame, she was an NFL cheerleader for the San Francisco
Wow.
49ers. Happy
Wow.
birthday. You remember Terry Hatcher?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know she was number 38 on the hottest women of all time?
No, I did not know that, but she was hot. She was a
Yeah.
really but not like a sexy hot. She was just light, and
Yep.
really,
Yep.
engaging.
Real
Yeah.
and spectacular. I
Yeah,
remember
but
that
fun, but
scene.
fun. You figured if I was with we'd have fun
And
with
she wasn't blonde, but the next one is, and you've got the next
it
birthday. And
is.
look who you've got, famous also, and you've got some pretty interesting things to tell us
Yeah,
about. Okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
Kim Basinger, 872, crossed over that 70s thing, that
Yep.
thing. So, an actress, actress in film and television, and a model who earned the Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She shot to fame as the Bond girl Domino Patacci with Sean Connery in the 1983 James Bond film Never Say Never Again. She made her feature TV debut in a rural drama Hard Country in 1981, starred in films The Natural 1984 with Robert Redford, the erotic drama 9.5 Weeks 1986, and played photojournalist Vicky Vale in Tim Burton's Batman 1989, the highest grossing film of her career. For her femme fatale portrait in LA Confidential in 1997, Basinger won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Mm.
She appeared on the cover of the band Survivors debut album and in hundreds of early 70s advertisements, most notably as the Breck Shampoo Girl. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
She appeared in the music video for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, hit single Mary Jane's Last Dance. She holds the distinction of being the only actress who has both, who has both posed nude in Playboy and won an Academy Award. Now there's a famous duo for you. Okay. And she was married to actor Alec Baldwin from 1993 to 2002. Hmm.
She has been
Okay.
linked to a lot of interesting
Yeah.
men. I didn't put them all in here, but yeah, I remember the Breck Girl. It was usually on the back cover of magazines,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
Ladies' Home Journal and Better Housekeeping that we
Hmm.
all got when we were much younger, years ago, decades
Yeah.
ago,
Hmm.
a century ago. And she was just a pretty blonde girl with beautiful hair, shoulder-length
Yeah.
hair, and it was commercial for Breck shampoo.
Yeah.
Really? Did you ever use Breck shampoo, Ron?
You know what? I'm trying to think. I don't think I did. I think,
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
I don't know what I was using, probably Prel back in those days.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably. Okay.
let's go on. I have an actor you may not recognize his name, but he's one of my favorites, and he's been in things you may recognize. Wendell Pierce, he's
Hmm.
62. Actor,
Hmm.
producer, businessman. He trained at Juilliard, and he rose to prominence as a character on stage and screen. He first gained recognition as Detective Bunk Moreland in the HBO drama series The Wire from
Right.
2002 to
Hmm.
2008, not that long ago compared to
No.
some of the others. Other roles included the trombonist Antoine Batiste in Treem, 2010 to 2013. James Greer, well, everybody knows him as James Greer in Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan movies,
Right.
which he
Right.
did over and over again, 2018 to 2023. Where I was introduced to him and remember him most, the attorney Robert Zane in Suits, the legal law
Hmm.
firm drama, and he was Meghan Markle's character's father. He also played Clarence Thomas in Confirmation 2016. He was in Malcolm X, Waiting to Exhale, Ray, Selma, The Gift, and Clemency. He played Congressman Gary in the MCU movie Thunderbolts. He currently stars, and this is one of my favorites. Are you a fan of Carrie Preston, or have you watched the show Elspeth on CBS on
Yes, I
Thursday
have
nights?
watched it. Hmm. Yep.
Okay, he's the police chief, Wagner. He's playing Wagner, the police chief.
Right.
He's got a twinkle in his eye, but he's very he's an interesting character in the CBS detective show Elspeth with Carrie Preston. Before fame, he was raised by his mother, who instilled in him a love for food, and he opened a grocery store in New Orleans, or Nolans, as some people say. I
Oh,
didn't know that. Happy birthday to Wendell Pierce, and we've got a couple of in memoriam birthdays. Why don't you do the first one, Ron?
okay. Sure. Sammy Davis Jr., 1925 to 1990, a young 64. That's sad. Singer, actor, comedian, dancer, and musician. By age 4, he was a vaudeville performer with his father in the Will Maston Trio. After military service, he returned to the trio and produced nightclub performances at Ciro's in West Hollywood in 1951. With the trio, he became a recording artist. Later, he often performed with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin as part of the Rat Pack. In 1960, he appeared in the Rat Pack's film Ocean's 11. He returned to the stage in 1964 in a musical adaptation of Clifford Odets' Golden Boy, which featured the first interracial kiss on Broadway. In 1966, he had his own TV variety show, The Sammy Davis Jr. Show. His most famous song is the 1972 number one hit, The Candyman. Can.
Candyman can and the Candyman can. Yes, I think that was from Willy Wonka. That was his song.
Yes,
Let's move
that's right.
on to another musician who passed away but had a birthday today, Jim Morrison. He lived to
Mm,
only 27, 1943 to 71. Poet, singer, songwriter, and filmmaker, lead vocalist, and primary lyricist of the rock band The Doors. Charismatic persona, poetic lyrics, distinctive voice, unpredictable performances, one of the most influential frontmen in rock history, and one of pop culture's top rebellious and often displayed icons of the youth counterculture. Together with keyboardist Ray Manzarek, he founded The Doors in
mm,
1965 in Venice, California. They spent 2 years in obscurity until their number one U.S. hit single, Light My Fire.
yeah,
Okay.
big one,
Yeah, and
right?
you've got one more in
One
memorial for
more,
us.
one more, another short life. Flip Wilson, 64 years old, 1933 to 1998. American comedian and actor known for his TV appearances during the late 1960s and 70s. From 1970 to 1974, he hosted his own weekly variety series, The Flip Wilson Show, and introduced viewers to his recurring character, Geraldine. The series earned a Golden Globe and 2 Emmys and was the second highest rated show on the network TV. In 1972, Time magazine called him TV's first black superstar.
Wow. Let's do an applause for all of them.
Yeah.
There we go. Yay, 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 yay. 11 seconds of. Okay, kids, quiet down. Okay, thank you very much. Good. Okay, now we have a couple more birthdays. We have some social media stars. I haven't heard of them. You haven't heard of them, but they are having birthdays and they're here for a
Okay.
reason. On YouTube, we have Xander with an X Budnick. He is 36 today. Ron, he's here because he has 191 million views. 191 million plus views. What does he do? He posts daily lifestyle vlogs or vlogs and travel and adventure videos of him hiking. He goes camping. He goes canoeing. He stays overnight in the forest. His January 31st, 2021 post, 3 days solo winter camping, deep snow, no tent below minus 20 C,
Ooh,
has 24 million plus views. I hope you're somewhere warm for your birthday. Happy birthday, Xander
wow.
Budnick. You've got the next one.
Minus 20. Wow. Okay. Bill Wirtz, age 36. He has 5 million plus subscribers. The YouTuber and singer-songwriter who posts comedic jazz pop songs set to surrealist animations. His songs often focus on random subjects and feature funky transitions. His song "Just Did a Bad Thing" has 9 million plays on Spotify, 8 million views on YouTube. His playlist on the YouTube is called Monday Videos.
Can you
Hmm.
imagine having 5 million subscribers? What would you do? Would you be jumping through hoops, jumping for joy, have
I'd
balloons
be
out in front
jumping
of the
through
house?
many hoops.
Wouldn't that be something? We're in a different part of the planet from these
Yeah,
people. On
yeah.
TikTok, we have a young lady named Allie,Ally or Li Crowley Dash Duncan. She is 30 today. She's just starting out at 2.5 million plus followers. TikTok personality and musician who, I have a typo here, who posts, let me get that cleaned up there, who posts bagpipe performances. She's a bagpiper and she
Oh,
often collaborates in her videos with a violinist. That would be interesting. More than 2.5 million followers on the platform. Her duet with somebody named Megan Chiaffrey has 3 million views. Happy birthday, Allie Crowley
wow.
Duncan. Yes.
Crowley, Crowley. Bagpipes, I love it. Okay, finally, Instagram. Clarence White, age 32. Another 3 million plus followers. He's a social media star who became the business owner of the clothing company Designed by White, which combines streetwear with high fashion. He posts modeling, lifestyle, and fashion updates. He began with shirts and expanded to hats, hoodies, and other original clothing, which features images and text.
There we go. Let's do it. You know what? I'm going to do a different type of applause here. And that's just appreciating. That's not laughing and mocking. That's laughing and appreciating how creative these young people are. We've got a 30, a 32, a 36, and another 36. How creative they are in sharing what they think is important to them and their friends, their population on social media. We had a YouTube, two YouTubers, a TikTok, and an Instagram, and I think that's a
Yeah,
whole new part of communications that you and
yeah,
I weren't brought up with, Ron. We weren't weaned on that at all, but they have found their followings and
yeah,
there's an audience there. What do you
yeah.
think? Inspirational?
And I think they do it the old-fashioned way in a sense. They do what they love, and they don't search for something that well would this attract people. It's like no, this is who I am, and people sense that.
Very well done. They call that authentic. Be
You're right.
authentic. Oscar Wilde has a famous quote, be yourself, everybody else is already taken. And you never heard that one? And
I have heard. Yeah.
And I call it being real deal. That's what I
Right.
am, and that's what you are. So let's go to national holiday today. Two wacky holidays. The first one, not so wacky. It's actually very delicious.
Hmm.
Brownie Day. I'm just going to introduce this with the definition. A chocolate brownie, or simply a brownie, is a chocolate baked dessert bar. I have a phenomenal heirloom recipe from my
Mm.
Aunt Anne. Brownies come in a variety of forms and may be fudgy or cakey. Mine are a combination of both, depending on their density. They're often, but not always, famous for having a glossy skin on the upper crust. They're just a little bit shiny. They may
Mm.
also include nuts, frosting, no, or chocolate. No, no, no. Nuts, maybe frosting or chocolate chips. Go ahead. Why don't you tell us the story of the legend, Ron?
Okay. In 1893,
Wow.
legend has it that Bertha Palmer, a prominent Chicago socialite whose husband owned the Palmer House Hotel, asked the pastry chef for a dessert suitable for ladies attending the Chicago World's Columbian Exposition. A cake like delicacy is small enough to be included in boxed lunches. The result was the Palmer House brownie with walnuts and an apricot glaze.
Whoa.
Whoa. The modern Palmer House Hotel serves a dessert made from the same recipe. The name was given to the dessert after 1893, but was not used by cookbooks or journals at the time.
Interesting. And let's fast forward 3 years to 1896. The first known print of the word brownie to describe a dessert appeared in the 1896 Cooking School Cookbook by Fanny Farmer, very famous
Oh,
lady,
yeah.
for molasses cakes. Molasses, not chocolate, baked individually in tin molds, no chocolata. Brownies in this style are also known today as blondies from blonde brownies, which appeared in the mid 1900s. Yes?
Wow. That took a while. Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. Yep. So then, in 1904, the earliest known published recipes for a modern style chocolate brownie appeared in Home Cookery, I guess 1904, Laconia, New Hampshire. And the Service Club Cookbook in 1904, Chicago, Illinois, and the Boston Globe, April 2nd, 1905, page 34, and the 1906 edition of Fanny Farmer's Cookbook. These recipes produced a relatively mild and chocolate and cake-like brownie.
I bet it was still good. In
Yep.
1907, 3 years later, the brownies appeared in Lowney's, Lowneys cookbook by Maria Willett Howard as an adaptation of the Boston Cooking School recipe for a Bangor, Bangor brownie, and that's from Bangor,
Mm-hmm.
Maine. An extra egg and an additional square of chocolate. I can't wait. I got to try that one. Bangor, Maine is the hometown of a housewife who said she was the one who created the original brownie recipe, and an assertion supported by Maine food educator and columnist Mildred Brown Schrumpf. The Oxford Encyclopedia of Food and Drink in America discovered evidence in 1904 cookbook recipes for the Bangor brownies to support this. However, Ron, hold on now.
Mm-hmm.
The Oxford Companion to American Food and Drink refuted Schrumpf's Bangor origin premise. No, she did not start the recipe for the Bangor. Okay, we don't even know the name of the housewife. Go ahead.
Slap. Okay.
Slap. That was good. I don't have a slap sound effect.
All right. Jumping to 1914, the Girl
Yes.
Scout Brownies Group, originally called Rosebuds, was founded by Lord Batten Powell. He named the youngest Girl Guides brownies after a popular 1870s story by Juliana Horatia Ewing about helpful, magical household sprites who did chores at night, a concept that matched the guiding ideal of helpfulness and caring for family.
See, girls who do the household chores. Let's just not even go there. Okay,
Very,
there we
let's not.
go. Yeah, I know. Anyway, 1921, this is some baking lore. The Washburn Crosby Company ran a puzzle contest in the Saturday Evening Post for their gold medal flour. Well, I use gold medal flour, but I think it's Pillsbury. They received thousands of letters asking questions about baking next to the puzzles, and they needed a friendly response. They said, How are we going to respond to all these people asking questions about baking? We want them to use our gold medal flour, but they have questions about the recipes. Why don't they just check a cookbook? Well, they said, we need a character to do this. Doesn't have to be real, a character. The company combined Betty, it's such a friendly sounding name, and Crocker. There was a retired director of the Washburn Crosby Company, and they said, let's honor him, or her, I assume it's a him, to create the persona. A secretary, oh my goodness, she created the signature, and the character first appeared in print in 1924 on radio shows and in advertising, and Betty Crocker was born. Betty Crocker
Wow.
actually got an official portrait that they've updated over the years. It became one of America's most recognized personas by the 1940s, so it took about 20 years. Her 1950 brownie recipe still has fans, and I have one of the
Wow.
Betty Crocker cookbooks for children that was a Hanukkah gift from my parents when I was about 10 years
Oh,
old. I still have it. Spiral, and it probably has a couple of smudges in there from my sticky fingers making brownies. Her brownie recipe was 1 cup of butter, half cup cocoa, that's not enough, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, 4 teaspoons of vanilla. That's a lot of vanilla. Optional, cup of chopped nuts. Pour it in a greased 9 by 13 pan. We call that a Pyrex glass pan. And bake 20 to 25 minutes on 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have a completely different recipe made with melted squares of baker's chocolate, not with cocoa.
oh,
And
much
it's
better.
I
Much
only
better.
make it every couple of years for very special occasions and when I'm feeling I could stand to gain 5 pounds.
Hmm.
Okay, and you got the next
Well,
one?
you just FedEx that to me, buddy.
I will. I will. The brownies or the recipe? I'll send you the recipe.
The brownies. Never mind
Okay.
the recipe. Just send the brownies.
Okay.
2021. Food science journalist and home cookery YouTuber Adam Ragusea, I'm not sure how to
Ragusa,
pronounce it.
yeah.
Ragusea, okay. Conducted experiments to discover why modern brownies tend to form a desirably glossy skin on their upper crust. In a video reporting his findings, Ragusa asserted that the skin was the result of making a batter of high viscosity with low levels of moisture and sugar well dissolved into the mixture.
I'm sure that's absolutely fascinating. I think we should start experiments on brownies too, and
Hmm.
I'll get to eat a couple of them. Today, no single person started National Brownie Day, but we're celebrating it anyway. Its origins are tied to the invention of the brownie itself. The Palmer House Hotel continues to celebrate National Brownie Day on December 8th by offering its original recipe, linking the modern holiday to its famous birthplace. I think we're going to do a little round of applause here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go bake brownies this weekend. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, calm down. Yes, brownies are coming. Okay,
One of the
go
famous
ahead.
things.
Did I stop the? Help me. Oh no, we're not starting that one. Okay, got to turn that off. You've got the next holiday, and this is kind of funky, but there weren't too many holidays, so I assigned this one to you. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
National Lard Day. Oh, from the sublime to the not so sublime. But anyway, in the 19th century, pig fat had been a staple in various cooking forms for centuries, viewed as valuable as pork. During the 19th century, lard reached the same prominence as butter and gained popularity in North America and Europe.
Interesting. Okay, and
Mhm.
let's move ahead to the 20th century. Lard overtook butter and vegetable oils as a widely used fat substitute because it was cheaper and there was more of it. But it got negative publicity after being criticized for being less healthy than other types of oil. Oh my goodness gracious. And Upton Sinclair's famous novel, The Jungle, made it even worse.
Mm.
But let me see if I can find the, hold on, let's see if we can find the, okay, that's good. Okay,
Okay,
go
that's
ahead.
good. Okay. Now, okay, early 1900s. The introduction of vegetable shortening made it possible for vegetable oils to be used as a solid fat for baking.
See, there's
And
the
that,
tie-in with the brownies.
there,
Baking, but don't
there
put it in
you
the
go.
brownies. Go ahead.
Okay. In 1907, German chemist E.C. Kaisner went to Procter and Gamble and presented the ball of fat that looked and cooked like lard, but it was hydrogenated cottonseed oil. His invention led to P&G's introduction of Crisco in 1911, which changed cooking forever.
Did your mom cook with Crisco? Did you have
We,
it in the house?
we certainly did. We certainly did.
I remember a can of Crisco. It was blue, right? It was a blue
Blue
can
can,
with a
that's right.
lid that you popped off, a plastic lid or a, yeah,
Yeah.
I think you opened it, might have had a plastic cover on it to keep it soft. I
Mm,
don't remember my mom cooking with it a lot, but I know I'm familiar with the can of Crisco. I might have bought it a couple times, but I just didn't like it. Anyway, in the 1960s, Crisco was a staple in American households. No, you didn't staple it, you smushed it on
mm,
into your recipes, almost
yeah.
entirely replacing lard, but they probably looked a little bit the same. In the 1990s, chefs and food experts embraced lard's unique qualities again during the discovery of, negative trans fat content in vegetable oils. Lard's popularity continued into the 2000s in North America and Europe, and we're just going to say, that's wonderful. Let me see those shoulders. Come on, Ron. Oh, you're agitating. That's good. I'll have a brownie, please. You can have the Crisco.
Save the Crisco. Hold the Crisco.
Hold the Crisco. Hold the bread. Thank you to the Suna Orchestra and thank you to Ron R., Monsieur Roel for joining me today. Wave goodbye to social. We're out.